Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I'm your host, Ryan Gilbert. Joining me tonight is my co-host, Joel Meyer. How we doing tonight, Joel?
Whoa, what a weekend. It didn't start too well. Like we left you guys on the Friday show before the game 6 between the Knights and the Stars. That did not go my way with the Knights winning that one. And then Saturday morning, what happened in the morning? I don't know.
Soccer on?
No, I didn't have it.
Bundesliga?
No, I'm still waiting for that 50-1 to enter the account. The Leverkusen won ages ago now, but I guess they're gonna make me wait until the end of the season. No, not soccer. It was I guess there wasn't anything going on in the morning, but the Kentucky Derby. Oh boy, that was a bloodbath for myself. I'm not betting large amounts of money on something I know nothing about, but lost every bet. I only had one outright, and the horse finished 4th. Of course, I had him catching freedom to finish in the top 3 as well. That didn't happen. Lost the matchup 2 with Forever Young, Japanese horse, just kills all the other matchups I had against him. And so that was not good. Talon, though, shout out to him. He had Mystic Dan. Like, he was fucking the only one on this horse. I never heard anyone recommend that bet, but that was a nice 20-1 hit for him. And then after that, I had to endure the Nuggets game. That did not go well. It's scary losing the first game at home there to the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards continues to dominate. And Jamal Murray's ankle continues to be concerned. So that's no good. They play the game 2 in about an hour here. So hopefully they can at least get one of the 2 at home and turn the series around. But after that, it was all gravy the rest of the way. Bruins beating the Leafs there. We'll talk about that game in more detail coming up. But that was exemplary. That was that's what happens to Leafs every year. Should have seen it coming. Well, we did see it coming. I bet the Bruins, but yeah, it happens every freaking time. And the Leafs always find a way to extract the most pain out of their fans. Like they should have just died in game 5 and saved themselves the trauma instead of making them. It feels like they lost the series twice, right? After game 4 and after game 7. So that's just being a Leafs fan for you. And then Sunday, I keep calling the Mavericks, the Cavaliers finished that one. Stupid team, but thankfully that bet came home through. It looked good. They were down almost 20 points to the Magic early on. But Donovan Mitchell, hell of a performance from him. They got that one. And then Rangers winning game 1. Not a sweat there. And then finally the big one, the Stars and the Knights. Oh man, this was also an excellent game. Much higher quality than the Bruins Leafs game 7, but a lot more stakes in this one. And thankfully the Stars got it done. My boy Wyatt Johnston scored the first goal, and he continues to impress even as someone who's not even 21 years old. So that was fucking great. And I had spent the rest of the night celebrating this hell of a weekend, especially the Stars win. I got barely any sleep. I even fell asleep on the bus on the way home today. That never happens to me. So I'm running on fumes. I'm running on adrenaline, much like the Bruins are right now. They won the first period there, not in the scoreboard, but in terms of dominating play. So they're going off adrenaline. I'm going off adrenaline. That's just the state we're at right now. But great weekend. I shouldn't be like just I'm not tooting my own horn here. Like around this time last year, it was the opposite. I was fucking miserable because of the Bruins losing the Panthers game 7, and then the Kraken beating the Avs in the same day. Killed a bunch of bets there, and the rest of the playoffs did not go much better. So yeah, some seasons are better than others, of course, and this one is looking pretty damn good so far. Hopefully things keep going my way in the final 3 rounds. How about you? How was your weekend?
Yeah, no, it was a good weekend. Had a few wine nights, had a brunch, had some mimosas, good stuff, and good hockey, good betting. I was able to, obviously, Bruins won that one in overtime, so capitalized on it. I bet sprinkled a few 1-1 correct score, 2-2, so they came up profitable there. Sunday, my Hurricanes didn't do too well, but I live bet the under, live bet the +1.5, and those two were sweats right down to the very end with the Canes pulling their goalie twice. So those came through, and then my stars. We're both very heavy on the stars. They came through. I had some Golden Knights plus 1.5 under 5.5 parlays, so that was kind of sweating it out there towards the end. But it was a good sweat. It was a good positive weekend. And yeah, as you said, so far tonight, the Panthers came out good in the first half of the first period. That was probably when you were nodding asleep there on the bus on the way home. But yeah, the Bruins in the second half of that period, ever since their PK, where they made the Panthers just look pitiful on the power play since they've been taken over. So good saves on both sides so far. So that should be a good long series potentially after, I'm not sure if we're really writing off the Bruins, but the 7-game battle against the Leafs definitely didn't do them any favors.
Yeah, and they got to play every 2 days for the rest of the series. There's no 2-day break in between games.
Ooh,
so
I did not look into that.
Yeah, that's another advantage for the Panthers. The longer it goes, the more the Bruins will be feeling it.
I'm kind of surprised I didn't go to Allmark then tonight. I saw some people speculating about just, kind of doing like this is going to be a loss anyway. Get Swayman more rest, but ride him until he loses, I guess, and then they'll go back to Allmark.
Yeah, I guess. I said before, don't change what's working when it came to their switching goalies. So now don't change what's working when it comes to Swayman winning games for you. And he's been outstanding. I think he was the best goalie of the first round, probably by margin. I mean, maybe if the Lightning Panther series went longer, you could say Bobrovsky, but Swayman was the most impressive keeper to me, at least.
I mean, easily he was. He had the best save percentage, I believe. I'm sure his goal save above expected were pretty good there as well. But even though the Leafs didn't really get too many chances against him, but we'll get to that. Talon's not here. Hopefully, Tommy Toronto had a good time at the Loose Moose, nevertheless. And
for about a minute before Lindholm tied it.
Yeah, those were great. I think it was 81 seconds there. They were ahead for. Yeah, but if Talon was here, he'd be telling you all about how to check out the MLB Gambling Podcast. Got baseball in full swing, so check out those guys over there. Make sure you're also subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast, of course, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Leave us a 5-star rating and review, and I'll read it at the end of the show. Subscribe on YouTube as well. Like, comment, and all that good stuff there. So, yeah, let's just go back. Saturday night, Leafs lose. What's going through your head? What's been going through your head since then, as you've heard all these quotes from Keefe saying the Leafs just beat themselves, and Marner talking about being gods today? What's going on in Joel's head here?
Okay, well, we can get into all that, but I just want to talk about how the intersection of sport and art. I think, like, I'm not talking about art in terms of the skill on the ice, like what McDavid does with his stick and his speed and all that stuff. That's all artistic in a way, but I'm talking about art in the sense of like a Greek tragedy or a Shakespearean comedy when it comes to the Leafs, because like Joseph Wall getting hurt on the meaningless goal that the Bruins scored in Game 6, and he has to miss Game 7. That's comedic because it happens to the Leafs all the time. But what I mean is that like when there's such high stakes on the line, and there's all the tradition, the history between these teams, the history of each organization, everything's come to the head in this one Game 7. So it's like this epic where sport is elevated to something artistic, and that's what really, the hockey wasn't good, as I mentioned earlier, but the stakes were so high. There was a lot of meaning behind every play because of everything behind it, behind the two teams and the rivalry and all this stuff off the ice, and the fan bases, of course. There's just so much at stake for both sides at all levels, and in that case, it's like a good versus evil. That's what it feels like. They got the Toronto side, the pathetic hero, I guess, the pitiable hero who can never manage to get over the hump, and then you got the Bruins who just they had their own demons, of course. So they from their perspective, they were the good guys, obviously, and they've just found a way, as they typically do, against the Leafs. And yeah, so I enjoyed the whole spectacle in that sense. Like I said, it wasn't great hockey, but it was a meaningful hockey for sure. And yeah, that game was everything. It lived up to everything in terms of the drama of it, and that's what I really appreciated about it. So yeah, that's the best part of sports, like when it gets to that level where it's not just like sick plays, dude, but actual just a lot of other meanings to it. So yeah, great game. And as for the Leafs, they got issues. No doubt there's going to be major shakeup, I think. I mean, Keefe hasn't been fired yet, but I'm sure that's coming. And yeah, Mitch Marner is the guy who's likeliest to be moved, it sounds like. People are also clamoring for Morgan Riley to be gone. I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, he's still beloved there in that fan base, but he wasn't good in this series. And yeah, that blue line needs to be fixed big time. Yeah, the gods comment is, I don't know. I didn't really mind that. It's true. I mean, they are. I mean, they're treated as gods, but they're also treated as demons a lot of the time too, when they're not winning, and this time of year especially. So, yeah. What else? Yeah, that Keefe comment was pretty good, saying that the other teams just set up so that the Leafs just beat themselves, and that's also 100% accurate. So, yeah, it's been a fun ride. I love this time of year, a little bit of Schadenfreude in terms of soaking in the Leafs' downfall, because yeah, the amount of attention they get in this market is like, I never listen to Canucks podcasts all the time, but this year they're all delighting in the downfall of the Leafs. Like, there's still a lot of Boston hate too, so it's like win-win for the Canucks fans. But no, I didn't realize just how much hate there is for the Leafs in Vancouver until recently. Really, like, I knew we didn't like them, but not to this extent. So it's been a fun ride here the last couple of days, especially with the Canucks getting through themselves.
Yeah, I always figured that just every city that had a hockey team, and maybe potentially every city besides Toronto, hated Toronto, just because they get so much of the attention when the other ones should get some more. Yeah, it was a great weekend of hockey. And when you said the crossover of hockey and sport and art, or whatever, sport and art, it reminded me the crossover. I want to talk about the crossover between round 1 and round 2, because Saturday night we got a game 7, and the first game on Sunday was a game 1, and like you could feel the difference between the game 7 and the game 1 in how the penalties were called, and how open it was, in how every shift feels so much more in a game 7. And game 1, it feels like they're just like starting it off, trying to get hits in here and there to get their rapport ready for the series. And like it just reminds you how quickly things can change, and how like it's obviously still intense playoff hockey, but just how much more intense it gets later in the series.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, the juxtaposition between that game and then the later game, the Stars Knights, was massive. Like, the refs didn't call anything in the Stars game. I mean, not that there was missing penalties really, but there was no ticky tacky stuff. It was less, as far as I remember. And yeah, 7 penalties in the first game, so it is like almost a different sport in that sense. But yeah, that's a weird. They don't. I think they're doing that more lately, right? Starting the first round before the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Started, but that didn't used to be a thing. But it's certainly interesting watching the way the refs call the games, and yeah, the tension differences. Like, obviously the first game flew over. Well, it should have flew over. It took a while to get there, but yeah, like, and then the scoring totally dries up in the other 2 games. Like 3 goals, 6 goals between the 2 of them. Yeah, so you're absolutely right. There is a weird contrast watching that game and the next one. It was almost like a regular season versus a playoff game.
Yeah, you have any major thoughts on what Vegas might do this offseason? I know they kind of went all in at the deadline. I mean, they got Hurdle, who's under contract, got Hannafin, who's under contract now. Like, I know I think Marchessault's a free agent. I'm sure he's probably going to be gone. Martinez will be gone. He's making too much. I think Stevenson's the other guy I heard's a free agent. So like I could see Vegas being a sneaky team in play for Mitch Marner. I could just see him in those sparkly gold uniforms.
Maybe. I mean, I guess, but I don't know how they'd afford him. I guess just put Stone on IR again.
I mean, it looked like he got hurt again there.
Yeah, he should have stayed on IR. He was pretty bad in this series. Of course, yeah. It takes a while to get warmed up and all that, but no, he wasn't great. But yeah, I haven't really thought about the Vegas offseason yet. Yeah, Martinez, he had a bad season, and yeah, he's not going to be re-signed. Probably signed for cheap somewhere else, or even retire. I wouldn't be surprised the way his season went. Yeah, Marchessault and Stevenson, they can only sign one of them most likely, and that'll be a big blow. But yeah, Hurdle wasn't great, but again, new player to a new team. We'll see how long it takes for him to adapt and overcome. But yeah, I haven't really thought about Vegas this offseason. I don't want to think about Vegas at all. See you later, fuckers. You're out of here.
Yeah, I was more thinking like, where could Marner potentially go? Because like they're not going to trade him in division. I think maybe New Jersey could swing something for him. I don't know if they could do like a three-way with Chicago. I know there was talk about, Leafs could take a look at Seth Jones, but having Jones and Riley locked up to those big contracts may not be great there. Calgary could be an option if they're trying to still compete because they still have Kadri and Huberdeau under contract. Like, I don't know, maybe LA goes for him. He wants to go out west. I have no idea. So I'm interested to see what Talon or Tommy Toronto thinks when he can join us.
Watch Everton scoop him up and
oh my god,
find a way. I'll take all the Toronto rejects. Yeah. No, I mean New Jersey, I don't think so. They got enough of those kind of players. They need some bigger, better defensemen. I think they have enough Marner types. Yeah, I don't really know. I mean Tampa, I guess they're probably re-signing Stamkos, I would imagine. I could see him maybe fitting in there, but I don't know. Yeah, off season is not really on my mind, even when it comes to the Leafs.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into the games then. But before that, just make sure you check out Underdog Fantasy. The playoffs are here, and Underdog Fantasy wants to make it a lot more interesting. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing the pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on any player stat. You can do just hockey or combine across other sports as well. You can win up to 100 times your money, and it's available in 30 plus states. So make sure to sign up with promo code HGP, and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code HGP. Right here, we've got a 2-game slate on Tuesday, May 7th. Kind of not going to have too many of these after this round, so you got to take these when we have them. And yeah, so starting at the 7 p.m. time slot, got the Carolina Hurricanes at the New York Rangers. Game itself is in New York. Rangers are plus 102. Hurricanes are minus 122. Over under is at 5.5. Over is paying off plus 102 with the under at minus 122 here. Good game there in game one. Back and forth. Rangers went up. Hurricanes came back as they've shown they're able to do in the first round against the Islanders. Nearly came back and tied it there against the Rangers. Saw Rod Brindamore whining for penalties after the game, even though his team had a 5-2 power play advantage. But that Ranger power play is
because they're not buying his diving shit. His team's diving shit. I should say this. Rick Talk had called about. He's saying, "Oh, we got to get diving out of the game embellishment." He's just all these different ways to get it out of the game. I love Rick Talk because the Predators were also diving. Like they always do that shit. Even on the new coach here. The Hurricanes are notorious abusers of that rule too. They're just flopping all over the place, and they got 5 penalties. What are you whining
about? Exactly. Yeah, and the Rangers scored 9 seconds into their first power play, scored in the second one, and that's going to be the difference. It's whichever team can get special teams. Which I shared that tweet in the Slack. Like whoever won the special teams battle in the first round won the series. I don't know. I have a bet on the Hurricanes for the series already. I think I would go on them for this game, though, minus 122. I don't necessarily see them going down 2-0. Not that they can't battle back from that, especially at home. But I think, a little bit of an open first period there to open the series. Yeah, it was 3-1 after the first. And then the Canes, no goals in the second. And the Canes 2-1 there in the third. So I think the Canes build on that. Minus 122. I'll probably take that if I was betting this game. Over under, probably lean to the over 5.5 plus 102. 7 goals last game. Could see a 4-2 final here, but probably not going to be betting this game individually.
Yeah, of course we get the zigzag factored into the line here. Rangers were not quite as big of a dog as this one. Hurricanes a bit more favored in this second game. The market expected them to bounce back. Yeah, I didn't see much that I didn't expect in game one. The Rangers were the more physical team. Hurricanes, they got all these shot attempts, but the Rangers were, blocking shots as they do, and they their power play is so lethal. Like I said, 9 seconds into the first one, didn't take too long after the second one. Yeah, yeah, so the Rangers here, I think, are just the side. I'll keep backing them. I don't know if I'm going to be betting game by game, but I bet them for the series. So that's what I'm supporting. Over 5.5 at plus 102. I don't see why, especially if Brindamore is calling for more penalties, we could see some more power plays. Hurricanes have historically struggled in the postseason on their power play, and it seems to have continued now of going 0 for 5 in the first one. And their penalty kill, it's always pretty good, but allowing those 2 quick ones to the Rangers power play is concerning. So over 5.5 would be my look again, just like game 1, and lean to the Rangers because I like them for the series. But yeah, it's not something I'm betting too strongly. It's an ongoing theme here. Yeah, let's go Rangers. But once again, I'll be. I hope this series goes long because whoever wins this, I'll be heavily against them in round 3.
Yeah, I am starting to lean more towards the Panthers and the Hurricanes in these. I know it's easy to say that after they lost game 1, but even if the Panthers lose game 1 here tonight, I feel like they have the easier path and have the better chance. But also for this game, I like the over. Eyeing up some player props. Not gonna go through them all, but Zibanejad points, Kreider, Panarin goal, Seth Jarvis to score again is over 2-1. Svechnikov point, Trocheck's been good. Teravainen, Roslovic are plus odds to get a point on good lines there. Any thoughts on the series price here? I'm not sure exactly what's that at. What that's at. I think it's like Rangers minus 140, Canes plus 120.
Oh, the Rangers got some money then. Because last time I looked, it was like
minus 134 is what I'm seeing here.
Okay, yeah. Still like the Rangers, I guess. Even at that worst number, but up a game, and I didn't see anything from the Hurricanes that really scares me. So, yeah, I mean, it's Rangers or nothing for me. I'm not gonna turn tail now after just one game and the price adjusting accordingly. So, Rangers.
Yeah, I might go Canes to win in 7 is plus 425. Don't hate that. To win in 6 plus 425. If you Dutch those, it gets to plus 212, which is better than them to win the series. And I can't imagine they're going to win 4 straight. So that'd probably be the B-dub special there, betting the 2 correct scores rather than just betting the team for the series.
Indeed.
All right, going down to the second game on the docket, we have the Colorado Avalanche at the Dallas Stars. Game itself is in Dallas. Stars are minus 125. Avalanche are plus 105. Over under is at 6. Over paying off minus 122 with the under at plus 102. Joel, heart versus wallet here. Which way are you going in game 1?
Well, we should talk about the series, broadly speaking, since we haven't done that yet for this one. I think that the Stars are a better team, obviously a deeper team. They don't have the top end talent that the Avalanche do, of course. Although Wyatt Johnson is slowly sneaking up there as a bona fide superstar in this league. I saw a stat from Dmitry Filipovich, Vancouver guy. He pointed out that Wyatt Johnson had 31 scoring chances for the Stars, and the next closest was 14. So, the eye test bears that out. Like every time he was on the ice, he was getting quality looks, and he's not the fastest player. He's not the most not technical is not the word, but his stick handling isn't incredible. It's not McDavid or anything. It's not running people over like McKinnon, but he's got such a high hockey IQ. He's always in the right place at the right time. He's got a lethal shot. So yeah, look out for this guy. Incredible player with a very bright future with just his second postseason. He's the best player on the team, even better than Heiskanen, I would argue right now. Jason Robertson's got to wake up. He's better than what he was in the first game or first series. But yeah, for the series, I would only look to the Stars here. I'm surprised the line hasn't gone up a little bit. I would probably make it like minus 135, but as you know, I'm loaded to the gills on the Stars, and that's why I've got to lay off some. Like that's why winning against the Knights was so crucial, because now I can start to play back. I wouldn't hedge at all. It's just because it's the Avalanche, and I'm not going to let them destroy all my bets, because that would not feel good. I would be torn. So I'm definitely going to be playing some Avalanche. But that's just my personal portfolio, not a recommendation, unless you also have a lot of Star stuff, then maybe lay off a little bit. But yeah, for the series, I think the Stars win. Just a deeper team, better goaltender. Their defense is very good. Also, Pete DeBoer with the Knights, he was excellent at shutting down the Colorado Avalanche. It's a bad matchup in that sense. I think the Stars can do the same thing that he did with the Knights. Like Bonus, God love him. Great player motivator, that kind of thing, players coach, but he's not the best tactical mind. DeBoer is definitely his better in that respect. And I think that he's typically got the best of DeBoer or Bednar. So that's a coaching advantage for the Stars as well. I mean, yeah, the Avalanche obviously have the advantage with the top end talent. McKinnon, Makar, and Nichushkin, playoff Nichushkin. He's an insane role. Lekin, of course. Landeskog is actually, I'm hearing some reports that his return is realistic, more realistic than I thought. So he could make an appearance even towards the back end of this round. Possibly. These are just rumors right now. And same with Drouin. Drouin could come back towards the end of this round. That'll be a big boost to the Avalanche depth. Of course, his chemistry with McKinnon has been excellent this year. But yeah, Stars for the series. Not betting it myself, but that's the way that I would bet it if I were a neutral party.
Yeah, I agree. I have some Stars futures. I bet Stars minus 105, minus 106, I think it was when I saw it, just because I thought that would go up. It hasn't quite gone up too much, but I still think they're the better, deeper team. I know the Avs obviously had the star power with McKinnon and Makar, but just the Stars have players that like Joe Pavelski has done nothing these playoffs. I know he looks old. I know he looks slower, but like he's going to get a clutch tip goal in front at some point. They have these players they can just mix and match in the top 9, and like their third line right now is Dadonov, Duchesne, Sagan. Like that's a pretty solid third line. Fourth line, Fox to Steele, Smith. Obviously, Fox just scored the game-winning goal. So I like their depth a lot. So yeah, Stars minus 115 would be my play in the series here. I like over 5.5 games, minus 177. I think this could very well go 7. But Stars in 6 at 5-1 is calling my name a little bit. I think it could very well be how this series ends up. So yeah, Stars minus 115. Maybe a Stars to win game 1 in the series. I'm not sure what that's at, but that's probably plus something has to be. So yeah, for game 1 here, what do you think for game 1 on Tuesday night?
Yeah, Stars sort of just played the game 7, have to play it 2 days later. That's not ideal, but as we're seeing in this game, the Bruins are hanging tough and at least matching the Panthers here. We'll see as the game goes on how much the Bruins tire, but yeah, I don't think that you could just take it for granted that the game 7 winner will just win or lose game 1 against the rest of the team. So that's not really a massive advantage for the Avalanche, I don't think. So I guess I just got to lean with the Stars again, thinking that they're the better team. And at home, maybe they got some momentum, some adrenaline as the myself and the Bruins are riding on right now. And yeah, but I think the better look though for the game would be the over 6. I think we're going to see a lot of goals in these games, 2 elite power plays. I know the Stars will do a better job against McKinnon and co than the Jets with their shitty defense and terrible goaltending. So maybe the Avalanche offense won't be scoring like 6-7 goals like they were against the Jets, but there still should be some goals. And both power plays are elite, as I said, and we'll see some more penalties in the first few games as we usually do. And that's why I like the over 6, even with Ottinger starting to feel it. Like he's warming up, and that's encouraging going forward for the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, completely agree. They're over 6, minus 122. All 4 meetings in the regular season had at least 6 goals. One push there, 1-5-1, but 7-4, 5-1, 5-4 overtime, 6-3. Even last year, 5-2, 7-3. Like these teams play a lot of high scoring games here. So yeah, over 6, minus 122. Look at some power play goals in this game and in the other one. I know FanDuel's been offering odds on those. It's the first time I'm seeing it. Previously, it was only on Canby, so look at over 1.5 power play goals. Look at power play points as well for these top guys. I think both teams are able to get a few done on the power play, and yeah, I like Dallas at home, even with the rest not being on their side. I think we've seen a lot of home teams come through in these playoffs. Home ice advantage has come through, so I like the Stars to do that here in game 1. You would touch on the game 1, Edmonton, Vancouver, in case we don't go tomorrow.
Yeah, I know we already talked about the series a little bit on Friday. I'll be watching the Avs game at a bar, of course, game one. And so I won't be around tomorrow. So yeah, the Oilers and Canucks, very interesting series. I bet the Canucks at plus 215, 220, whatever it is. And I think that they can make this a contest. So naturally, I like the Canucks here with getting all this rest thanks to a Pearl Jam concert going on Tuesday at Rogers Arena. So that's why this game was pushed back all the way to Wednesday. So yeah, Canucks haven't played since Friday. Oilers been off for a week, so not really an advantage there. So yeah, give me the Canucks here to win this one. I think the longer the series goes, the bigger advantage the Canucks have. I think Oilers win a short one, Canucks win a long series. That's the way I'm feeling right now. The Oilers, of course, 45% power play just absolutely ripped through the Kings' vaunted penalty kill unit. But the Canucks also have a pretty good penalty kill unit, at least against the Predators, who have a good power play. And just get the Oilers to like 27%. Keep them below 20, 27, 28%, and the Canucks can stand a chance. Because 5-on-5, I think the Canucks can muck it up. Like Taka is like this defensive mastermind. I think that they can just make these greasy games like against the Predators, and then just get a couple good bounces, and you can steal the game. I mean, that's not even stealing the game. They're only plus 110 here, obviously at home, but still, I don't understand the series price too much considering the massive Oilers being massive favorites there. So yeah, I like the Canucks get it done. Over 6, in a game one, penalties, whatever. But longer the series goes, I think the Canucks have an advantage, and we'll get some unders to play later on. And yeah, I'll be looking to back the Canucks in the series. Of course, 4-0 in the regular season. Said this a few times, but it's worth mentioning that I forgot that there was no McDavid in the fourth game. He was hurting there he missed a few games, so I forgot about that when they were fighting for the division. But yeah, give me the Canucks, lean to the over. Let's go Bang City.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if we had talked about this series at all, because I remember the odds coming out, and I'm not sure if I was in the Discord or on here. We talked about how plus 220 for the Canucks was way too high, and that's still what they're at. You can get Canucks game one and the series plus 380. I think if you like Canucks game one and series, that's a pretty good price there, plus 380 as opposed to plus 220 just for the series on its own. So yeah, I could see Vancouver here with their depth, as long as it stays at 5-on-5. That is my one kind of hesitation here in game one, though. There are more power plays called, penalties called, and Vancouver's power play wasn't great in the first round. Only 2 goals. Both came in game 3 in that 2-1 win where they had 12 shots on goal. So you could see Edmonton get a power play advantage like they did game 1 against the Kings. They went 3 for 4 and went on to win 7-4. So I'm not too strong on either game. I just still do like the Canucks in the series. And yeah, love the over 6 minus 115. Take these overs early on in series, even though it's not really paying off tonight in Florida. But I think for Edmonton and Vancouver, 2 more high scoring teams, I think it should. All right, Joel, any thoughts on futures, Conn Smythe stuff since we last spoke?
Not really. I mean, I haven't bet anything in the past little bit. No, I don't have much. I mean, back to back players you like on the teams you like. It's that simple. So yeah, I've got some Panthers guys. I don't have any Stars guys because I got all the other bets. But yeah, I think the Panthers are the likeliest team to win the cup. So that's where I'd look. Matthew Tkachuk, 13-1 is probably my favorite bet still. Like, look at that, Wyatt Johnson all the way down to 19-1. Love to see it. Pasternak, he looked good today. He looked better than he did most of the Leafs series. So if the Bruins go on a run, you're scrolling down there, his odds must be pretty good.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to find him.
Where is he?
40-1, David Pasternak.
40-1, yeah, Pasternak.
You cannot get Austin Matthews 45-1.
Oh, smash that.
I guess I haven't taken them off this board yet.
Yeah, if you like the Bruins, I think Pasternak is the best look there. especially that
easily.
OT winner. That'll be remembered in the minds of voters, no doubt.
Mhm.
Swayman, of course, but we don't know what's going on with the Bruins goaltending exactly. One bad game, and he's going to be missing the next one. So it's dangerous taking him at half the odds as Pasta. I much prefer Pasta there. On the west side, just Stars are kind of tricky. I mean, Wyatt Johnson's too low now to take, so it's tough to back a star, and I think that they're like
Ottinger 30-1 might be the best value pick right now.
Yeah, but these days with all the scoring,
what's Hintz at? Hintz is at 50-1. He has to wake up sometime. Yeah, Robertson 35-1.
No, I haven't seen enough from these guys, and I don't really want to take a goalie because if you look at the stats of the last 4 goalies who win the Conn Smythe, they're ridiculous. Like they're all sub 2 goals against, and you got to have some crazy numbers to win the Conn Smythe as a goalie. So I would look to skaters first, unless it's some crazy high price like Aiden Hill was 500-1. I think that was a good bet, although obviously it's done now. So Pasta if you like the Bruins, and Tkachuk if you like the Panthers. I think that's the best advice I can give at the moment.
If the Avalanche win it all, you like McKinnon 13-1 or Makar at 20?
Oh, I was kind of worried about Makar towards the end of the series there, taking a crunching hit, and he took up a few minutes to get his win back, but he finished the game, so shouldn't be too concerning. But that's what's kind of scared me off a little bit, just in case he's nursing something. And of course, he does have persistent issues with his knee that can always arise. I think he might have surgery in the off season to finally repair that. But that's the only thing scary. Otherwise, I'd like it. If there weren't no injury stuff, I would take Makar. But because of that, I'm just staying away. So I mean, my favorite bet of my favorite Avs bet is the Panthers Avalanche exact matchup. Oh, let's fucking go. Who's that? Panthers scored. I don't know. I'm sprinting.
My stream hasn't caught up yet.
All right, you can tell me.
Turnover. Kachuk shoots. Kachuk opens the scoring.
Hell yeah.
There we go. Point leader plus 490. Come on.
Yeah, and we are just talking about 13-1 for
13-1. Grab it now before it moves. Grab it now.
What was I saying though? The Avs. My favorite hedge bet is the Avs Panthers Stanley Cup final. Got it almost 10-1. I think that's a even without the considering the hedge thing. I think that's a decent bet.
Yeah, the Avs. Talking about that reminded me. Most points in this series, Stars Avs. I like McKinnon plus 150. He's minus I think 115 on FanDuel, so plus 150 on DraftKings. Makar at 9-1 could be sneaky too. McKinnon, Makar, and Rantanen all had 9 points in the first round, I believe.
Between both teams, that's the bet.
Yeah.
What's Wyatt Johnston?
Wyatt Johnston's not going to be able to keep it up all series long like McKinnon. Wyatt Johnston's 7-1. Or no, that's most goals. Hold on. Wyatt Johnson is 12-1.
That's my favorite look. I think the Stars win the series, so that's why I think why not? Why can't he keep it? I've just brought up the stat about all those scoring chances. He more than double anyone else on his team, and I know that they share the wealth in Dallas, but at that price, I don't mind that. Like I mentioned, DeBoer has had a history of shutting down the Avalanche offense, so that'd be my favorite look there. 12-1 for Wyatt Johnson, most points.
Yeah, I guess that's not bad. He had 7 points in seven game round one. I guess that's not bad. 12-1. A few other things I like. Edmonton, Vancouver over 5.5 games minus 150. That's still there on the board. That's the other thing I had written down here to say. Anything else?
We have a question in the chat.
Do
you guys like Leon at
30-1? That's the discussion. I initially bet some Leon at 40-1 before the playoffs started, thinking he could really turn it on in the playoffs, and that's what it looked like he's done. He has 10 points, 5 goals, but McDavid 12 points, only 1 goal. I don't know, but the thing is, like we talked about it. Can the voters give it to Draisaitl if the Oilers win the cup?
It'll take a lot. That's why the odds for McDavid are prohibitive there at 6-1.
Joel, fuck, my stream is behind. Bobrovsky just
Yep.
handled the puck. Oh no. Oh, and Pasta scores. No. Geeky? Fucking geeky.
You're not as far as behind as the last game.
No, last game I was watching on a legal stream. This one is at least on ESPN Plus or ESPN,
I see.
Whatever. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I don't like Leon at 30-1. But I don't like the Oilers to win the cup, so that's why.
that is true there. All right. Scheduling. I may do a solo show tomorrow. We'll see. Joel will be at the bar. I'll see if I have enough.
What are you going to talk about?
Props, possibly. I don't know. Probably not. We'll see. We'll be back Wednesday, at least the two of us. I'm hoping Talon or at least Tommy Toronto can hop on board here. Not sure what his work schedule is or any other obligations he may have. So, but yeah, make sure you follow us on Twitter at HockeySGPN. Make sure you subscribe or listen to your podcast and on YouTube. And get in the Discord, I guess, sg.pn/Discord. I am Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop.
And I'm Joel Meyer. You'll find me sweating this Nuggets game 2, starting in half an hour. And yeah, I'll be sleeping well tonight. Hopefully a little better if the Nuggets win. But yeah, Panthers and Nugs. Come on, boys. Let's get it done.
It's summertime. You get those sweaty Nugs. You gotta get Manscaped. See ya.